The year was 1984. Apple aired the Macintosh commercial. A methyl isocyanate leak kills over 3,700 people in Bhopal, India. And HIV was identified. But less of that. Because, oh yeah, one of the biggest and most successful gaming developing companies was founded. NaughtyDog. The company that brought us a spinning marsupial in jorts, a whiskering treasure hunter, and a heart-wrenching journey through a broken world. And soon they'll bring us Cowboy Bebop on crystal meth. This is the story of NaughtyDog, a studio that rose to greatness and then hit a few bumps on the road. Welcome to the channel, people. In this video, we're going to talk about one of the most successful gaming companies out there. Yours truly, NaughtyDog. So make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and comment, and all that stuff. Picture this, if you will. Before the cinematic blockbusters and the Game of the Year awards and making plus 18 so-called brave choices in the name of art, of course, NaughtyDog started with, wait for it, Sky Craze and Rings of Power. Yep, those guys were coding in dorm rooms. Real underdog energy, if you ask me. Then came Way of the Warrior, a fighting game that is so nostalgic, so 90s it actually hurts remembering this. Pure nostalgia. I mean, look at this game cover. They don't make these type of game covers anymore. But eventually this game would capture the attention of Universal Interactive, and that partnership would birth a certain Orange Bandicoot, the game that every kid remembers its intro when you load it up on the PS1. After blowing the joystick parts, cleaning the CD disc, a little prayer hoping that the game will open up after 5 tries. I mean, at least that's what I had to deal with. That game was Crash Bandicoot. Crash Bandicoot didn't just platform. It spun its way into PlayStation history, and also drove it for that matter, with slick level design and a personality that screamed the perfect mascot. Crash helped define Sony's early brand, and after that, Naughty Dog's reputation skyrocketed. But they weren't done yet, because after Crash came Jak and Daxter. And what that meant was more open world, more narrative, more ambition. The Jak series evolved from colorful platforming to gritty, story-driven gameplay. I remember me and the posse members would always argue in our weekly roundtable council session about which series was better, Jak and Daxter or Ratchet and Clank. It was Ratchet and Clank, come on. Ratchet and Clank, all day, every day. But anyway, this proved that Naughty Dog was hungry to grow up, just like their players. And in 2007, Naughty Dog took a bold leap with Uncharted, Drake's Fortune. I mean, forget wacky mascots. This was Indiana Jones meets Hollywood blockbuster. It was also a time where the Tomb Raider franchise was declining in quality, so this game was sort of unrivaled in the niche treasure hunting, wall climbing exploration genre, if you will. Nathan Drake wasn't just charming, it was the face of a new era. The series redefined action-adventure games, setting new standards in storytelling, character development, and sheer cinematic flair. I would go far to even saying that it took motion capture and voice acting to another level, specifically thanks to the efforts of Nolan North, who, by the way, was Spencer's dad in Pretty Little Liars. Shocking, I know. Each sequel upped the ante, bigger set pieces, deeper themes. By the time Uncharted 4 came out, we weren't just playing an adventure. We were emotionally invested. Not to mention that these games' graphics and visuals were far ahead from all their competitors. And if that doesn't suit you, the scores they composed were on another level. They were above everyone in almost every department. Themes of heroism, brotherhood, and the weight of greed turned what could have been popcorn fun into something much more nuanced. Naughty Dog weren't just making games. They were telling stories. How's my writing? And speaking of writing stories, then came The Last of Us. And the game world would never be the same. This wasn't just a game. It was a brutal, emotional, gut punch, loss, grief, connection, and hope in a world torn apart. I did mention this previously, but I think in my case, I was young when I played Crash and Jak and Daxter, but then I grew up and played Uncharted. It felt like me and the game were maturing together, so it also felt like Naughty Dog knew who I was, and my age, and what my emotions were, and they tailored their games specifically for me. Critics praised its writing, its performances, its hauntingly beautiful design, Again, the voice acting and the motion capture were Oscar-worthy. Not to mention the scores composed by Gustavo Santaolalla. Gamers cried, debated, and declared it an instant classic, even going as far as to say it was the greatest game of all time. But just so you know, I didn't cry. It set a new gold standard when it comes to narrative in gaming, and Naughty Dog? They were on top of the world. They were officially the GOATs. For now. A wise uncle once said, "With great power comes great scrutiny," or something like that. You see, behind the scenes, reports began to surface about Naughty Dog's crunch culture, long hours, burnout, and stories of overworked staff. Allegedly, the human cost of perfection started raising eyebrow. They did mention that they were going to quit that, allegedly. But when did these stories started surfacing? Well, when it was time to release The Last of Us Part 2. And with it, they would release a store. I had never been more excited in my entire life for a release of a video game than when I saw The Last of Us Part 2 teaser trailer. I couldn't wait. It was the first time I had pre-ordered a video game. The game was set to release in June 2020. However, in April 2020, the game was leaked. Rumors suggested that a disgruntled Naughty Dog employee was responsible, but later reports confirmed that hackers exploited a security vulnerability. The leak included major plot points, cutscenes, and gameplay footage, and boy, oh boy. There was one question eluding everyone's mind, and that question was, what type of acid were those writers smoking when they wrote this game? Because it was not looking good, bruv. Naughty Dog stuck with their reputation of pushing boundaries. We can definitely give them that. But my goodness, you kill off the main character and the main reason why most of the fans play this game in the first hour? And then you force the gamers to play with his killer, Janet Cena, Brockett Lesnar? And you expect players to enjoy this? Fans were divided. Some praised its bold, subversive storytelling. Others felt betrayed by the writing, and the fact that every other scene was filled with woke ideology being forcefully shoved down their throats. Where do I stand, you ask? Well, other than the storytelling, everything else in this video game was a 10 out of 10, which was the main reason why I continued playing this game. Otherwise, I would have requested a refund as soon as the game decided to have me play as Abby. Artistic freedom in the form of uncalled for useless sex scenes and nudity in the name of art, of course, clashed with fans' expectations. And Naughty Dog found itself in the eye of a very public storm. Laura Bailey, the actress who played Abby, was receiving death threats from fans, and I can even say allegedly this time around. With all that though, the game is still considered a masterpiece, and of course IGN gave it a 10 out of 10. Why wouldn't they? But as Naughty Dog looks ahead, all eyes are now on their mysterious upcoming title, Intergalactic, while the details remain tightly under wraps. Early rumors and teasers suggest it's a bold leap into sci-fi. Get it? Bold leap? You see what I did there? And sci-fi is something completely outside their traditional wheelhouse, and that is exciting and a little risky, I guess. Especially after years of the gritty realism of The Last of Us and the grounded adventure in Uncharted. Intergalactic could be the studio's chance to flex its creative muscles again. Just imagine, this studio gave us emotional breakdowns over a giraffe. They'll be turning their talents to alien worlds, interstellar politics, or spacefaring rebels, or like I mentioned, a Cowboy Bebop ripoff. The possibilities are limitless. But let's be real, there is a question to ask. Is Naughty Dog walking on a tightrope? Especially after the divisiveness of The Last of Us Part 2. The pressure to not just impress, but to redefine themselves is higher than ever. Will Intergalactic be their next Crash Bandicoot? A genre-defining game that reinvents their identity? Or will it struggle to land with a fan base that's grown both devout and divided? But either way, one thing is certain. Naughty Dog is not done evolving. Whether you love them, critique them, or fall somewhere in between, you can't deny their impact on gaming history. And with Intergalactic on the horizon, a new chapter in their legacy is just getting started. Naughty Dog's story is one of evolution, from humble beginnings to industry titan, from beloved masterpieces to bitter debate. They made us laugh, cry, although not me, and rage. And most of all, they made us feel. Any way you look at it, there is no denying that Naughty Dog has left a paw print on gaming history that won't fade away anytime soon. See what I did there? Paw print? Okay, I stole it. Sue me. Anyway, thank you for watching this video about Naughty Dog. If you did enjoy this, definitely leave a like, smash the like button, whatever they say, subscribe to the channel, man. We'll see you in the next video. Peace.